So I wanted to record this as a bit of a proof of concept. So in the last one, I said that I was going to somehow figure out how to connect up this so I could play the emulator to finish the game that I was playing. I'm not going to lie, I stopped messing with the emulator and the idea of this because I already had something on the way. Now, to my credit, I do love this, but I bought this for the Switch. So if I'm going to play Super Metroid, I'm going to play it on the Switch like that. But then I was like, well, if I have a capture card coming, which is what I bought and which is what I was waiting on, which is why I said screw that. So if I had a capture card coming, and I have these adapters to make stuff go from high quality to lower quality and vice versa, i.e. HDMI to AV, or vice versa, why not just bust out the original Super Nintendo? And that's exactly what this is here. This is all proof of concept that I could stream this if I really wanted to. I could record some of my old childhood games. Like, this is one of my childhood copies of Super Metroid. I say one of, because if he's watching, he knows the story. But this is my second copy of this game ever. Now, to be fair, I honestly don't know what happened to the original copy, but somehow it either stopped working or I lost it. And my brother, I guess, went to the mall and managed to find a shop that was selling one and spent a decent amount of money to buy me this at the time. So, still have this copy to this day. And later in life, I bought myself my own copy, but I had to do it in my own unique twist. I bought a ROM hack cart, which, oddly enough, this and this, they don't feel the same. This feels really lighter. And being the fact that this is ROM hack cart, I'm pretty sure I know why this feels light compared to the original hardware with like the battery save and everything in it. But if I plop this into the Super Nintendo, which is a real Super Nintendo, controller and everything, I would bother to pick it up, but the way I've got this hooked up is kind of a jingled mess. So if I do, it's not going to be for long. So here's the Super Nintendo. The game is in. It is on. There's this is the mini console version, so it's not going to show like a power light like the original would. And it's not turning on. Or at least it's not feeding signal. I may have bumped the video cable by accident. Maybe, possibly, we'll see. Okay, so it's no longer saying no signal. AV NTSC. Yeah, that's what it did. Upon picking it up, I accidentally pulled out the video cable. And then, if I'm correct, Super Metroid should be playing. And it is not. So, let's see here. Yeah, everyone hates it when you do that. But back in the day, it just worked. Now, the only drawback of this, in all honesty, is the fact that I won't actually be able to hear the game. But you guys should be able to. Why am I not seeing video? Obviously it's turning on. There we go. What? I've never... now that I have this recorded, I could... I don't know how this thinks that I'm somehow copying this, because this boggles my mind. I somehow tripped the anti-piracy by playing it in original Super Nintendo and converting the AV to HDMI. Like, hang on here. I've got to break this down in my own stupid way. Like, hang on 1 second, because I'm not going to believe myself for this for later. So, yes, I'm resizing the camera. Stick with me here. So, these are the original ends that I used to use almost 20 years ago for this thing. So this is the power right here. I know the light's kind of crappy, but I think I can do better for myself in this moment here. Okay, so this is the power. This is the video. No kind of trickery or anything. It is going down a squid, which is going down to a easy sell AV to HDMI, which is going into a Razer rip saw and into the TV. This is the Super Nintendo in question that just played that image of it's illegal to copy. Original Super Nintendo. Why is this doing this now? Okay, so we're back to the Nintendo thing. And now the game plays. 20 years. And this thing somehow still has new surprises for me. Now, I hate the fact that I kind of did what I did over this video, because now I have to kind of reset myself up. But, that's not right at all. Good enough for now. Yeah. The battery in this is almost certainly gone, but this is kind of just going to be a tester video just to kind of see, you know. I can definitely edit some stuff out. Now,
is in captivity.
Like I said, you guys can hear this. I can't. I'm pretty sure I can find a way to... Actually, no, I know I can find a way. I buy all sorts of things to have backups, to be prepared, to be prepared, to be prepared for the unprepared. Like this. I have here one of these little audio stars, as I'm going to call it right now. But essentially it's just a way of splitting out audio, and they all mimic each other. So if I put it into one 3.5 connector, I'm going to get it in another 3.5 connector. So in this case here, when I plug this in, I should be able to plug it into here. Which this is probably going to... Actually, you know what? For the safety of the video, I'm going to mute the game audio really quickly. Unplug this. Plug it over here. And plug it back into the ripsaw. And then I'm going to take my headset streaming center and plug it into here. And see what we get. Because if it doesn't sound good for me, then I know it's not going to sound that good for you guys. Okay, I have some slight buzzing, but I'm pretty sure that's just because of the fact that technically the video and the audio are kind of grounding each other out on my end. But we'll see. Or at least I'll hear it later. Now, the audio should be re-enabled. Hopefully you don't hear the same auditory buzz like I do. Actually, there's no reason to connect it over to this thing like that anyway. So I'm going to mute the game audio again. And instead of running it to my headset stuff here. Yeah. Okay, so you, it's only me that hears that buzzing. It's not you guys. Yay. Proof of concepting. So now I have three different things to go for this one simple idea. Record a Super Nintendo from the actual Super Nintendo with real Super Nintendo hardware. Old knockoff controller I had to repair. Childhood one, the Super Pad, which I guess was supposed to be a third-party version of like the PAL controller. And I like this one because it actually has like almost raised ridges in the back, so it's kind of more comfortable to hold. It's what I played as a kid and always gravitated to these specific Super Nintendo controllers. So this is really happening. I'm actually recording a Super Nintendo. Now, if only I had editing software, I could turn the first part into a YouTube short here and then have the rest of this going on, but still. Also, I'm using this flat panel LCD. I don't know why I said S. LCD as my medium for playing the game. Technically, I'm using OBS on my big fancy widescreen here, and then I have a semi-widescreen video here. So it's gonna kind of be stretched, which I really don't want it to be, but what can you do? I mean, I do have realistically better options to play this game on, but that's going to require a lot of setup to do. But in the meantime, it is an option. I have in my midst, I think, 4 different ways. Yeah, 4 different ways to play this game in its in its true entirety. I have 3 actual CRT monitors. Technically, one of them is a TV. It's, I don't know, it's from that same generation that was kind of the built-in VCR CRTs. Squeak. So I have that. Then I have an old Commodore monitor that I got from the recycling at a Staples, I believe, with a Commodore 64 and its manual and some connectors and stuff like that for it. I think some people like threw in their old printer cables and stuff like that, so squeak. And then I bought my childhood, like, dream favorite idea of having this monitor. Long story short, there was a movie called Tremors 2, and in it they had this specific monitor in their truck which they used to view the movement of the graboids. It's how they knew they were being chased and all that sort of stuff. Underground monsters. They were using vibrations to visually represent on the screen. And I was so obsessed with this monitor that I some random point, like before Christmas, that I was like, I bet I can figure out what that monitor is. And upon doing screenshots and loading up the movies on the original, like VHS, DVDs, and stuff like that, I figured out what type of monitor it was, and I found pretty much the exact type of monitor they had. So, just in case someone's curious, it's a Sony Trinitron. Now, as far as the actual monitor itself, the model, I do not have that right in front of me. But I can find it, though. But I'd much rather play. But yeah, it's like a Sony Trinitron. It is like escaping my mind here. Sony Trinitron PBM 8220. So that bit that you guys saw in the recording, I get to do on the actual hardware. And I actually get to have some responsive controls, which is really, really nice. Now, 20 years later, can I do this? I honestly don't care because I did it in the video. But here we are. I think I can make this a little bit bigger. Do I really need all that time to flee? Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I can get a... You know what? That'd probably be a Christmas idea for some people. Find a flash cart so I can actually put ROM hacks on the original Super Nintendo and play them. Honestly, I need to open the Super Nintendo game and change out the battery in there. I can only imagine what it's doing to the PCB if it can't even remember the save files right now. Worst comes to worst, I could always remove the battery until I can get a replacement. That way I can kind of preserve the game. But yeah. Now, let's save. Because I've already done this in videos, I'm not going to bore anyone with going back to Super Metroid and basically restarting it, so... The whole point is to mess around with some Super Nintendo titles. I do have a few over there, but I actually have some favorites of mine over here. So... the silence. I gotta love that part of this. Okay, and just to show off this is the ROM hack for Super Metroid that I had called Ancient Chozo. So, nose is itchy. Isn't that supposed to mean like someone's talking about you? Who the hell would be talking to me at this hour of the night? I don't know. And I have been playing this. I got to a point that I got stuck. Stop talking about me. Gotten to a point where I'm more or less stuck. I love how the video looks better on the recording here than it does on this flat. Oh yeah, that's right. I was having to farm here. It's like the last thing I was doing. Now, this ROM hack is a bit harder than I'd like, but it's not impossible. It's just somewhat annoying. Okay, now I can only freeze them. Anything behind? Nope. But I can go down. What's going... Like, the ROM hack is really... it's pretty vanilla, on all honesty. It's majorly done up, but as far as, like, the layout of stuff, it is the same. This part I've always hated with these things. They never take the proper damage, they are not easy, and I swear to God it's random whether or not they do that. Holy crap, I got one. Well, that was mildly annoying. Just farm really quickly here. there's nothing attacking me, then might as well not bother. Alright, well, let's go here. I love how a lot of these textures, I've been playing these games for so long that a lot of these textures are honestly familiar to me. So I actually know, like, these blocks right here and that statue thing that's holding it up. All of this is from Super Metroid, from Metroid Zero Mission. And the cartridge freaked out and froze. Well, I guess I ain't fighting Ridley. It's probably about time to clean this thing anyway. How about some childhood favorites? Because we're just screwing around right now. Honestly, this would be pretty good as a stream rather than a recording. But the whole point is a proof of concept to me. Basically, if I can do it this way, I can do it anytime. Don't take that out of context. Oh man, there is a lot of titles that, for the lack of a better term, kind of sucked to have as a kid and to play. But kind of looking back at it now as an adult, it was pretty dope to have. Oh man, I just realized I could actually do this. Yeah, I could play the Super Nintendo as I'm playing the Super Nintendo. Way to go, me. No, I could actually do... Oh yeah, I forgot about that thing. I can do a lot of older titles. And some of my favorites. I can do the N64 now, so I can play stuff like Conker's Bad Fur Day, which I'm pretty sure YouTube is not going to like. Here's the next game on the agenda that I'm going to try to play. It's called Indiana Jones, I think it's, yeah, Greatest Adventures. There's this. Also, I do have recordings of it somewhere. I will, I guess, remix it to explain it. But because I play Destiny 2 a lot. Long story short, when... Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Long story short, when Season of the Haunted came out, I had saw the thing for a dungeon, which is essentially a mini raid, called Duality. And I don't know why, the Leviathan, as much as people ragged on it in vanilla Destiny, it's one of my most fondest memories of Destiny. Being a veteran doesn't really matter as far as the stories and anything. It's one of my favorite points just because the people I met at that point, everyone was excited for Destiny. We left Destiny 1 kind of on a great note with like Age of Triumphs and all this sort of stuff. So when Destiny 2 came around, a lot of people were hyped. Yeah, the game kind of sucked in the beginning, but there were people still on like, well, it'll get better. So by the time we got to go back to Leviathan as a dungeon, I was all in. Unfortunately, I was kind of solo for some of it, but the people I do play with on occasion, we did play it, and I'm kind of proud to say that I mastered that dungeon in ways I did not realize. And I actually went for the Triumph Seal, and I actually bought the seal when I unlocked it, so for the lack of a better term, that's the seal. I promise later I will try to actually show this, but yeah, I bought the seal. Actually, the seal is on the front here, so it's literally like a little bell cage looking thing. And yeah, this is something I worked really hard for. Later on, or early on, when Season of the Splicer was still out, not during that season, but when its content was still there and you could still earn the seal, I went after that heavily. I don't know why I hated it in the beginning, but later on I thoroughly enjoyed the idea of going and playing that, so I did. I may have to clean this one as well. That's probably going to be the story for a lot of these. Good thing I always keep the cleaning supplies for this stuff nearby. because it's not like I'm a nerd or anything. No, not at all. I actually have fondness of my games instead of calling them pieces of shit. Oh, that's not really PG, but we're over 30 minutes into this, so... Okay, a little under 30, so... I don't know. So let's see what's wrong with this cartridge. Let's give it the best chance by giving it a little cleaning with some isopropyl alcohol for right now. Because I actually do have... God, I don't remember what it's called. It's like, not degassed, but it's like demineralized alcohol. And look at there. All I needed was a little bit of love and some cleaning. Oh, that's right, JVC was the thing. One of my childhood games. Never got to actually play it in such a way that I could enjoy it because I was really bad at it. But nonetheless... And with the new Indiana Jones on the horizon, it seems kind of nice to actually go for it. So the first story is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, for 16 bits, not bad. South America, 1936. Can't be a gamer if you don't got due.
Let's go.
Oh, this brings me back in so many ways. I don't know why it does, but it does. Wobble. There we go. I love the fact that the whip is kind of infinite. Whipping fish and bats. Oh, so somehow the spider web did it to me. Somehow it just barely turned to make that work. Oh god, that almost made me fall off there. Accidentally turned around the wrong way. Whoop. Oh, there we go. Oh, excuse me.
Let's go.
Let's go. Gotta earn the whip again. We can do better this time, I believe. Somehow I knew something was going to go on there. Oh, why am I doing that? And I'm just being an idiot here. Wait, I have a grenade. I had a grenade. I don't trust anything anymore, not with the amount of health I have. And I didn't even trust the ceiling.
Let's go.
But that's enough for that. I could play more of that at some point. And again, these are on the original hardware, so it's not emulating, it's not pirating. I actually have these, so I can properly show them. Here's the next one. I don't know if you can see that because I am not lighting this correctly. Let me put the light in my eyes. Do you see it now? I doubt you can read it. So let me just show you. If it wants to work. So right now I'm going to say needs a little bit of cleaning. Oh yeah, this has got some dust on it. It's got some age, got some wear and tear. Saw a spot on the outside of the cartridge. Decided to clean it just really quickly. Because, I mean, these games are, God, old. Not that that's a bad thing, just they've been around for a minute. Chances are they still need a little bit of love. I think the video cable's freaking out here. There we go. Yep, I think it is definitely freaking out. Let's try this again. Video cable didn't come unplugged, did it? Let's try this again. There we go. Oh, it just takes me back. It's just gonna be titled just Sad Nostalgia. You can freak out all you want, Donkey Kong. Oh, even better. I could probably do some original Game Boy Advance games. Sorry, not Game Boy Advance. Game Boy, just in general games. Because I have the original Super Game Boy. So I could do a playthrough of Metroid 2. Do I really want to try to play that game? No. But I got some childhood titles like Frogger, Rocko's Modern Life. Not an easy game for a 5-year-old. Not at all. Games like this is what turned us into friggin' men. Transformed us into tigers. I picked this one up a few years ago, Super Mario World. I never used to have this. But, nonetheless, I have it now. Do some one-player stuff. Maybe I'll play this for a minute. This is one of the more easier ones that I can actually play, that I know. And again, on real hardware, not emulation. So I can't make the excuse that, you know, oh, the latency of the controller is awful. It's just, I'm just getting some weird input response time. It's not handling multiple inputs at once. No, this is as honest to God original as it can get. And I forgot about that balloon. Oh well. And that one too. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? I haven't played this in, to be honest, probably like a couple of years. So a lot of this is muscle memory to me. But I still find it interesting. Ah! Can't rewind that in emulation. This is where it gets brutal. Oh, I forgot the last letter. Crap, that was the life. Oh well. I'm like speed running this now for some reason. But also failing at it if I'm actually trying to go for a record or something. Because why would anyone want to do that? Where's the checkpoint thing? How'd the checkpoint barrel just disappear? Okay, didn't need it anyway. Oh, of course the tire disappeared. I should have just committed. That's gonna be hard to do this because I don't have this. You know what? Screw it. I don't need it. God, I hate Cranky. Alright. We go in a different way. I don't want anything to do with Cranky. Something about the newer Donkey Kong countries just, I don't know, just does not seem the same as it used to be. Oh, come on. There we go. There's a secret around here somewhere. Nope. Almost lost the barrel. How about this? Let's be safe. Do this. There we go. Don't have to kill all the Kremlins, do I? I just want to get to that final horde of bananas there. Like, I'm pretty sure I can do that pretty quickly. I love this music. I don't know why, it's so nostalgic to me. You know what? I'm really surprised there is not a radio station out there just dedicated to, like, soundtracks and stuff like that. Just like play some Super Nintendo stuff every now and then, some Sega Genesis. Who knows? God, I never remember the name of these animals, but they're always funny when I find out what they are. And of course the balloon's gone because I didn't go the right way. Lives? Who needs lives? I don't have one in real life, so why should I have that many in game? Ah, no! Give me the... Nope! There we go. You know what, hang on, I gotta take a pause here. Just appreciate the creativity of what you're seeing here. It's a monkey underwater that doesn't need any oxygen, that's somehow holding his breath for maybe minutes or hours at a time in a lake that found a starfish in a lake. I'm okay with it if you are. For some reason, I used to think those were baseballs because I was like, there's no way clams can make that many pearls like that. So I was like, okay, he's got to be pitching. Aw, one of the best soundtracks right here. Ah, it makes me nostalgic. I love this so much. I mean, why not? I mean, it's awesome. I visit it every time, and the problem is he can't drop you off normally. He has to like take you to the exact spot. So in my case, he has to take me to the next level because I never stop visiting him to hear this stupid music. And I jump off just like that. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's go as Diddy, because he can actually get me up here without needing assistance. For some reason, I'm like adjusting myself for some imaginary input lag that's not there. I will make it to the boss at the end of this. I honestly don't know what you would call this. Stage? Because, I mean, we're on this island. Okay, that's going to bother me. Anyway. At the end of this journey, got it close with taking a sip, didn't I? Come on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this makes me skip, so I don't have this issue. There's also a secret I can do here. I forget which side was the good one. Okay. I like that better than the balloon. Balloon gives me 1 health. Starfish can give me 5. How? I guess you'll have to see. Oh no! Lost my friend. Lost my Diddy. Lost my homeboy. God, manual control again. I'm so unbelievably paranoid, it's not even funny right now for this. I'm not even blinking. I don't think I'm allowed to blink. There we go. And... oh, I thought I screwed up. Out of my way, nerd. And we made it. We made it! There's a beaver at the end of this rainbow. That sounds horribly wrong, don't quote me. Oh crap. Okay. I doubt anyone's going to use this as a resource for this, but I'll show it anyway. So, I love this level in this game for two reasons. One, it is the one that I've mastered so much that it's almost like a reflex as far as how anything I do here is. And secondly, it is the easiest level to farm lives on. Once you speed past some of the stuff in the beginning, you can get... I forget the math on it, but you can get some lives. And you can farm it in multiple ways. So you can go through the whole thing, getting the bananas, and you're guaranteed at least, I think it's like 2 lives for each run that you do. If you get the 3 ostriches, you can increase it up to like 7, I believe. Because I can get at least 5. Sorry, focusing. Gotta get the lives. It's for every 100 is a life, I believe. Got a good a decent bit there. I wasn't counting, but we're up a good bit than we were before. Then go through, recollect the bananas. I said recollect the bananas. And then just make it to the end. Reap your reward of having gotten a good bit of lives. And then you go back and do it again. Except this time, you can stop and reset it. There's actually a trick to this game that if for some reason you accidentally select a level instead of, I don't know, accidentally replaying that level and losing lives if it was difficult, they added a little neat feature to it. So when I get to this section here, I will show you. Excuse me. But there's a reason I'm not doing it now. So I collect the ostrich, right? Start and select. Hit start, then start and select. And now when I go back in, yeah, I don't have the frog, but everything that I collected, yeah, is back. So I can start select, go back in. I'm at 2 ostriches. Re-get my little buddy here, because he jumps higher than I do. Up. And just like that, got the ostriches again. This is what I had time to figure out as a kid. I screwed that up a bit. Wasted my time, but... I don't know if I got more or less. So it was what, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I got about 6 lives, I think 5. Because I don't know if I started on 20 and got 21, or if I started on 21 and got 22. So about 5 to 6, depending on how good you are at that. And then again, select out. And there you go. You just farmed some lives with me. Now, that was Donkey Kong Country. That was the Super Nintendo. And I am very, very, very excited about the possibilities of what I can now do now that I have this capture card. So, thank you, Razer. They didn't sponsor it, but I'm just basically saying thank you for making an amazing product. Hiccups. Hiccups. Thank you to them for making such an amazing product, because honestly, this is really easy to use, especially in something like OBS. Like, man, this is phenomenal. Now, the bit that I said earlier, because I did say I was going to do it, so let me make my video bigger here, because it's all of a sudden jarring on screen. This is the seal that I was talking about earlier. I have no idea how well that's coming up on video now. But, yeah. And then, of course, it's on the outside of the box there. So, I worked pretty hard for that. Now, actually, you know what? After this, I gotta do some farming in Destiny, so I'll take you guys along with me. But, this is probably why I'm not gonna go straight to the Super Metroid. Continuing it, because now I have to get back to where I was, which will be easier on actual hardware instead of trying to do the emulation, but it means I'm going to have to do it all in one sitting because the battery's dead, so that's the catch. Or I could do the Nintendo Switch Online version and be able to actually finish the Super Metroid one that way. Maybe. We'll see. But this opens up to a lot of possibilities. And honestly, I didn't take their quality that seriously, but this one's actually a downgrade for that type of signal. So this one's HDMI to RCA, so it allows me to actually play on these older CRTs I have behind me. So yeah, these things are really neat. And if you know what you're doing, quality's not that bad either, because a lot of them convert it to 720 to 1080 as far as like the input range, so it can either output a 720 or 1080. So it's nice. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and depending on wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.